Welcome back to another episode of Figures in Action. And I'm going back to work. Yeah, just got the news last week that I go back July 6th. Whew, man, I think it was like 4 months, 3 months of no work. Anyway, was contacted by a gentleman who actually prints 3D props. I guess that's probably the best way to say it. Let me just turn on this light. Oh, don't fall on me, light. Bullseye I found. Let's get this light a little brighter. Take Bullseye out of there. Just wanted you guys to see him in front of the ATM machine. So I was contacted and he basically hit me up and was like, listen, I want you to create a dial that highlights the pieces that I am selling. So I was like, okay, that sounds like a pretty cool project. So I told him to, or right, you know what? I take that back. He just wanted something that he can showcase his prints. And then I said, well, send me some things, send me some of these prints over and I can build around the print. And then once I have the prints in front of me and you send me whatever you're going to send me, I know what I have. I know what to gear this dial up towards. So, I waited about a week. He was pretty good about sending me some stuff over. So what he did is he sent me a telephone. So these are three separate pieces. So he sent me like the telephone holder, the telephone, and then the receiver. It kind of. Let me see if I can. There we go. See. Originally, I was gonna try to put a wire on it. I have nothing that looks similar to that, so I'm just gonna leave it at it as is. But so I had three separate pieces. He hit me up with this piece as well. That smaller piece there, and the highlight of it was the ATM machine, which looks great. So anyway, got all the pieces in front of me, and I was like, you know what would be pretty good is like a storefront to highlight these pieces because he has all the pieces that would look good in kind of in front of a storefront. The name of the Instagram page is Geek Mechanics. Their website is geekmechanics.com, I believe. This is kind of their logo, so I put it behind the window there. Just named the store. But I also told him that if he wanted to, he can put like prints or posters of the pieces that he's selling and kind of make it seem like this is a store where you can walk in and buy these prints. So the dial itself is, I believe, it's 18 inches across, 12 inches deep, and I believe it's 12 inches tall, I believe. FYI, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man. So, grabbed all the pieces and then started to come up with what I'm going to do in terms of highlighting them, but also kind of blending them into this scene so that if anyone's interested, he can just kind of point it out and be like, hey, listen, this is what I do in terms of printing a telephone. This is how it would look if you use it in your diorama. So let's go through the build real quick, and then we'll just kind of take it from there. So this sidewalk is just two pieces of skinny foam board glued together. You can see the seam there. I try my best to hide the seam. I do a pretty good job at it, and a lot of times it doesn't really come up in the picture. So these are just two that were glued together, and then glued on top of here. These are just stenciled letters that I use for the toe zone. This is actually basswood. This is balsa wood. So I did the trimming on this wall a little bit thicker, just because it had more of the cement. So I wanted to give it a little more something to fill it in a little more. Versus this has the brick, so just a thin line of that cement strip in the bottom looks good. What I did is created this canopy for the ATM, and a lot of times these canopies aren't as difficult as they seem. Pretty easy build. Just like what I usually do is just kind of use these skinny sticks and just kind of sharpen them out, and then you can see where they would be installed into the wall. And because it's foam and it's light, it worked out great. Was able to use my Proxon foam slicer to kind of create that angle here, so that so that it fell or kind of leaned against the wall, or just fell flush against the wall once I install this. So this piece is definitely a piece that can be moved. Let me get that guy back in there. Interestingly enough, what I liked about these is that the part where this is just a dowel rod, and the part where it didn't come with this. This is my dowel rod. So what I did is I just spray painted it, put it in here. But what I liked about this is that the space where the dowel rod goes into isn't flat against the wall. So what I did is I just kind of put it in between the balsa there and kind of glued it down there, which is great because it actually isn't like there's no strap. It's not strapped to the wall, which kind of is cool. I kind of like that. Same deal here, where I kind of just took, it has the part where the dowel rod can just kind of fit into, peg into. And then I just kind of stabbed it into this little piece of foam there. And then here on the side, there is no part where where it can kind of land, with the dowel rod can land. But I just kind of did it across, make it seem like we're just giving that ATM some electricity from the building. This is just done similar doors before. The skinny stick, up 2 pieces of skinny stick to make it pop up a little bit more. Aluminum tape. Wanted to do the clear door, so it's legit clear, like you can see what's on the other side perfectly, where this one is more of the cloudy paper, where you'd have to kind of press it against the window there. And wanted to do that for a couple of reasons. Did not want to make this super clear because it is difficult to kind of put stuff in the background, but did want to give him the options that if you wanted to stick something on here, it will look perfectly clear because it's just clear. Where here, if you put some words or whatever, you can see him not as good, but you'll get the message across. So like this is just a patch that I took from these pants that I just got rid of. So you get an idea. If you press it up against the window, you get an idea of what I'm talking about. Versus this one over here is, you get the actual every little detail of it. So didn't want to give him kind of that, the ability to kind of, the ability to kind of have those available for advertising of his prints. Yeah, man, I actually really like this, man. I really like the way this came out, man. It's just one of those pieces where it's clean, it's simple, and you can do so much. Like if he prints 3D crates, he can put a crate here and have a guy sitting here. He can do same thing over here. You can do, if you 3D print a garbage can, you can put it here, you can put it here. So so he has the option. If he does a 3D kind of those sewer chips or whatever, he can dig. He's definitely created dioramas before, so he has the ability to dig into this. So left it nice and clear, so if he wanted to do that, he can also showcase that. So he has the ability to make this piece grow a little bit, actually, which is kind of cool. I don't know if he 3D prints like cameras, but he can put like a camera here in the corner pointing down for security reasons. So again, just gives him the option of doing a lot of different things, and had a good time. Actually finished up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm done. Should I put some graffiti?" He's like, "Yeah, put some graffiti." I was like, "All right, cool." So I was able to rock out some graffiti as well. And this actually is not a printout. This is actually, after I did it, I kind of regretted using that white paper. This is actually vinyl letters. I put each one of those letters individually, one by one, on this piece of white paper, and then I took some basswood or balsa wood and gave it a frame. What I should have done instead of using the white paper, because it kind of seems like it's just I printed it, but it's not. It actually, there was work put into it. What I should have done is used another color paper, something to make it look more that it was actually vinyl letters versus just me printing out. Not that I have a printer, so I couldn't print anything out, even if I wanted to, but just so it didn't seem like I printed it from a computer, cut it, and just kind of framed it. And I think that is it. We were able to keep this video to under 10 minutes, which is great. Any questions, comments, leave in the description below. I will also leave a link to this gentleman's information if you are interested. He did the ATM machine great. I mean, he included all those little pieces of paper I had to just cut out. He included the ATM sign and just everything that you needed to light it from behind, which is amazing. You have the ability to kind of light it from behind. Y'all, and I am out of here. Check out the pictures at the end of the video. Peace.